going to read a post that I literally just made on my Instagram a few minutes ago because it's super prevalent to what I'm going through and what I want to make this video about. So here it goes. After we find ourselves momentarily free from our own suffering, it is our role to hold space for those who find themselves in that place of darkness. We suffer for the purpose of relatability, humility, and compassion. Our pain and suffering does serve us and gives us the opportunity to be present for others and to understand, to some degree, the pain of others, the pain that others face. I pray that all who find themselves in darkness and despair might learn the value behind what they go through and that we can all learn to have gratitude for the moments of ease and simplicity. We all need to be each other's strength when things become challenging and heavy, reminding one another that it soon shall pass, that they are loved, and that they have a purpose in this life. I love you all, and I encourage everyone to do all that you can when you are feeling up and full of strength to uplift and be there for others. This life is most often full of pain, and then parentheses, not for all, but for a large majority of people. But through this pain, the love and bliss deepens. Through the deepening of our suffering, our joy surely expands. Just keep reminding yourself of these truths. So the reason why I wanted to read this is because, one, yesterday I made a video about suffering, depression, and I believe that suicide and death and that type of sorrow, obviously they all go hand in hand. And today, I realize that's a huge topic right now. A lot of people are talking about it, and a lot of people are really going through some major shifts and some really dark moments. And the reason why I felt like sharing that post is because I know I've said this in so many of our videos, of my videos that I create for you. The reason why you suffer is, there's so many reasons, but the biggest message is that there is a reason. And it's not just because you're being punished, and it's not because you're just a sick person. It's actually because you're probably a healer, and you're probably a person that has so much strength that universe, God, or source, or whatever it may be, knows you can handle these things and that you'll make it out, and that the more you suffer, the more you're going to be able to be there and help others. And at least I've started to learn that for myself, and because you guys are so similar to me, I've heard and read your comments for so long, and yeah, you guys are very similar, and I believe you also are there to help other people, no matter if it's making videos, which you all should try to do, and if you do, tag me. Or not tag me, but like message me so I can watch your videos. Or if it's just communicating or hugging somebody. But the people in my life right now are going through a lot of pain, and it seems like when I'm going through my thing, I'll have someone be there for me, and then when that person is suffering, it's vice versa. It's like you take turns, because either you suffer together and help each other, or you take turns going back and forth, because you gain that wisdom and new information and knowledge to help these people. And, suffering is real, and people dealing with suicidal thoughts, that's real. It's not just some far out thing that some people might encounter. A large majority of people, whether they're aware of it or not, everybody suffers through things like that, thoughts and feelings and ideas of inadequacy, or maybe childhood traumas. Like, we all have our thing in this life that makes us feel disconnected and separated. And I believe that's the purpose of this life, is to realize that it's kind of the human condition. And you see all of these saintly beings like Jesus and the Buddha, Siddhartha, or Gautama, And so many, I can go on, there's so many people I've read about who go through things like this, where they suffer so deeply. It's like a climax of all this pain. Like Jesus, he carried the weight of the world, the sins and the pain of the world until he couldn't handle it anymore, and he ran and just exploded with all of it, in a sense. Same with the Buddha. And it's like we're all going through these little microcosms of that, and we can see in a grand spectrum that these saintly, well-known beings had a reason and a purpose, because we're talking about it now and relating to them now. So you have to constantly remind yourself that what you're going through is not meaningless. And it doesn't, just because it's not meaningless doesn't mean it's not painful, because it is very real and it's very painful, and sometimes it feels like you'll never get out of it. And sometimes some souls in some of their lives don't get out of it, and we need to be aware of that. Like, it is very likely that when people suffer, that it can be too overbearing, and that when things are overbearing, you know, things like suicide or self-harm really do happen, and you can't avoid that and dismiss it and pretend like it doesn't exist. It's a lot. I've been wanting to ever since I started this YouTube channel. I've kind of wanted to tell my story. I don't think this will be the video, because I'm already so far in talking about other things, but I believe my next video, this is going to be really intense to say. I want to tell you my suicide attempt story, and it's not going to be easy, and it's never easy for me to share these personal things in life, but I know that being vulnerable for other people helps so much, because then they don't feel like they're so alone. Because there's so many people out there that look at others and say, well, why aren't they in pain and why aren't they suffering? People are, they just don't voice it. Because for some odd reason in this society, voicing your truth and your story and what you've gone through and how you feel is not okay, and vulnerability is a weakness. When in all actuality, you and I know that this is a strength to allow others to also feel at home and at peace as brothers and sisters. So I guess my next video will be my story, and it's been a long time, so I will probably forget a lot of details, but I feel like I've come a long way, and I've accumulated a lot of information and knowledge on how to cope and get through things like that. But I am just putting this out there, this video, because I want you all to be aware, and I know you are, because you guys all comment and you're watching this. I want you to be aware that these things are real, and that we need to watch out for the people that we love. And not only that, it's not just about the people that we love and that we're around, just anyone and everyone. Try to be sensitive to people. You have no idea what someone's going through. You have no understanding on the feelings that someone constantly has in their mind when they're sitting in front of you, or when they're alone, or when they're talking to somebody. So I guess this video is about trying to be as self-aware and externally aware as possible, and to utilize your suffering when you find the strength, because I know there are periods where it's like you have that weakness and you need others, because life is all about giving and receiving, about being taken care of and then taking care of. So obviously there are moments where it's necessary for you to be the one that is weak and vulnerable and in need of others. But when you find yourself in that situation and in that mindset of strength and knowingness and courage, that's the time where you need to be there for people. And I'm saying this quite obviously because right now I feel very grounded. with everything that I just went through the last 2 weeks, and I destroyed an aspect of myself. It's always a little like, it's a death every time I go through all this stuff, whether it's a physical death or spiritual, emotional death. I rid myself of some beliefs somehow, even though it was torturous. But I am here now, and I am capable of being strong for other people, being very strong for my family, my immediate family, my sister, my brothers, my parents, my husband, the people I love so very dearly, and you guys, of course. And I feel like I say this all the time, and I don't know if you guys like really feel it or really understand it, and I know I might not like get back to you all, and I don't know you personally, but I genuinely love you guys, and I just want you all to know, like, you're not alone in this world. And I know that's what like depression and all these things feel like, is like this absolute loneliness, and I understand, and I know it sounds so stupid when people say they understand, because like they've not experienced exactly what you have, but to some degree I do, and I just want to be here for you guys. And I guess this is why I have a YouTube channel, is to be here for you guys and for you to be here for me. And this is the purpose, is service and unconditional love for each other. I really, really hope that if you're going through something, you reach out for help, because we're all here and we want to help you. And again, I love you all, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. It's going to be really intense, maybe not so intense, I don't know, but I'll see you next time.